International Master William Paschall. This is Slaggy on Twitch, and we can call him Slaggy or Slaggy. It's in honor of a former dog of mine. This was my poker handle, by the way. That's where the name originates from. The name of my dog, which became my poker handle, and then naturally became my chess handle when I switched back from poker to chess. We've got an awesome donation from Clash Kid. He just donated 1,000 bits to the stream, becoming the weekly bits donation leader here on Slaggy on Twitch. Welcome everyone. We're gonna be doing a Fast Friday 5+3 open challenges against all you guys. I think I might have to thank Clash Kid. Where is his football emotes? It says I earned special emotes. It says you opened. All right, there it is. Cheer any amount to get football emotes. So everyone else can cheer any amount to get football emotes. Clash Kid, I'd assume, would automatically get the football emotes. Has anyone else used this before or seen the football emotes on Twitch? I was watching Merle Dixon with 100 donation. Thanks, guys. We hardly got started. Awesome. Does anybody know about the football emotes? Can we unlock those? Would they be with the other emotes? Okay, I'm not really an emote person. Emote. What's that? There's an RU footy and a PA footy. What is that? Is that football emotes? The RU footy and the... What is PA footy? You guys know? I see that. That's all I can find. Scanning the emotes, like, briefly here. I know that today I saw Morocco playing Iran. I can't get rid of the emotes. Goodbye, emotes. Get out of here. How do I close it down? How do I get rid of it? Bye-bye. Alright. Mubot is down and may need you to type /Mubot. /Mubot? /mod Mubot? Wait, what do you want me to do, Soltigo? Do you want me to type that? /mod Mubot? And so exclam. Triple exclam Mubot moderate. Hopefully this works. Attempting to manually detect moderator status. I did /mod Mubot, and now the exclam Mubot moderate. What's up, everybody? We had 1,000 donation. Yeah, there it's working. We've got football emotes. Merle Dixon, thanks for the donation. They're under the standard ones. Alright, so we unlocked the football emotes. Thanks to Clash Kid. He activated the football giveaway for 4 others in chat. Cheer any amount to get football emotes. So Merle Dixon should have gotten it with 100 donation there. Hey, good luck for the stream. You deserve it. Thanks, Sandro Pedro. Alright, guys, we're just going to get started. Are you doing your simul on Sunday? Yes. This Sunday, I mean, the next Sundays seem to be open, so we are doing the simuls. This next week, I am going to be unavailable between Tuesday and Friday, but it doesn't affect our Sunday simuls. This Sunday, though, it's going to be 4:30 p.m. We're going to move most of the streams, including Sunday, to 4:30 p.m. EDT. So consistently 4:30 p.m. EDT for most of the summer. But I do think we're going to try to do one morning stream, maybe varying the day. One of the streams, 5 streams a week, and one of the streams will probably be, varied to like 10 in the morning. Asterbate donates 100 with a goal. So what happened in Morocco versus Iran today? I just saw part of the game. All right, guys, let's get it started. The only time I watch football is really, even though I live in Europe, the only time I watch football is like during the World Cup. The Euro last year, also, Hungary did pretty well. So I'm in the United States now. It's weird, being like a football fan in the United States, but people are catching on here. Okay, Nefedov, let's get started. 5+3, guys. I'm just taking this challenges openly. Play as many as we can. There's my lag kicking in. Nice. It was looking good. It was looking good till now. Now, I made a mistake yesterday. Yesterday, I think we're going to be in trouble here. A 261 ping. I'm not happy about it. It's manageable. Yesterday, you mean a soccer fan? Well, you know, even saying football is catching on amongst, I think, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but even thinking that even football, you know, people are like, do you mean like European football or American football? So even saying football is kind of catching on, I think, among younger Americans. I wouldn't say it to my grandpa or someone like that, but anyway, yeah, I'm talking about soccer. Own goal by Morocco in the 94th minute. Oh my god. That's so sick, dude. Bishop e2. Okay, let's try something different here. I'm trying to mess with Nefedov with the move order a little bit. Something weird. Can we play something weird? You got a limited time emote. Thanks to S Force Cheer, you got this emote, the PT Footy. Cheer any amount. How can I... Thanks so much, 200 from Saul. I can't cheer in my own stream. I don't think I can. You guys are awesome. Saul is now in 3rd place, close to the leaders in the bits department. What other matches today? Is there another match today, or is that the only one? There should be more than one, right? All right, F3. Yes, yes. F3. What am I supposed to do now? It's like a weird rouser. I feel like it's not a rouser because the bishop's on d4. But my setup, I'm playing like it's a black side of a rouser. Spain, Portugal, 3-3. Wow. Huge game right off the bat. All right, that's interesting. Nefedov, also interesting, is castling kingside here. You know, that's a very tame way of playing the position. Well, we'll see what's going to happen here. I could play a6 maybe, then a4. What am I doing after a4? He like clamps down on the queen side, by the way. You like to support the Dutch team, but that's pretty useless. Wait, is this something I don't understand? Is the Dutch team in the World Cup? Like, the Hungarians didn't even qualify, of course. Americans didn't qualify, which was a minor surprise. Is the Dutch team obviously in the World Cup? Because I didn't even know, like, for sure, like, all the teams in the World Cup. You know, if the Americans didn't make it, it's possible the Dutch didn't make it. I don't know. The Dutch have a huge... They didn't qualify. Oh, my God. That's insane. Much bigger deal than, like, the Americans not qualifying, probably. I don't know. That's crazy. All right, now Nefedov was playing it like a Skaveningen. Wow. Pablo with Queen E1. I haven't castled yet, you know? I mean, come on, man. You're attacking me before I've even committed myself to castling. What if I played E5 and just, like, played D5? E5, bishop somewhere, D5. Pawn takes, knight takes. Then he, like, pins me with this extremely annoying move, rook D1. Look at that variation. E5, bishop F2, D5, pawn takes pawn, knight takes, rook D1. And I'm just screwed. Like, just resign. Immediately resign. Routine, castles is passive. Okay, queen g3 is coming. There's knight b5 type of stuff. Oh, good. All right. I don't like just castling. I wanted to do something crazy to throw Nefedov off, but I didn't see how it could work. Yeah. They want to increase the number of teams in the World Cup, right? Wasn't that the idea? You guys all know more about World Cup stuff than I do. I mean, I'm an American originally. I'm just transplanted in Hungary, and I watch with my Hungarian friends football sometimes, but I don't know much about it. You know, it's weird not being a real European and pretending that you know something about football is pretty weird. So I don't pretend, you know. I just admit that I don't know very much, and I'm honest about it. Okay, Clash Kid says I play so bad lately. I want to at least survive 30 moves today. You're good at surviving 30 moves. They're going to 48 starting in 2026, right? So the American, Mexico, Canada bid. Everybody, yeah, that's in the news. So even though I know about this, right? Well, it's going to make winning the World Cup, you know, a little bit harder even, but more interesting for more countries. I mean, obviously, it's really strange to have a team like the Netherlands not in the World Cup, the United States not in the World Cup, but only so many countries can qualify. So, I live in Hungary. You know, the teams they've pumped a lot of money into football, but they're still just not good enough. Now what? Bishop d3 aiming at my king side. I don't really like you aiming at my king side, sir. Alright, we're going to give Nefedov respect. Pretend I'm playing Kamsky or something and just really try to play solid. Italy. Thanks so much for the bit donations, guys. Clash Kid, Saul today, Merle Dixon, someone else, maybe. This is a weird position. Weird. Just so bizarre. Totally weird and bizarre. Nefedov, when you play a strong player and they offer you something for free, you need to be more circumspect. So, I thought I might be winning a piece straight away here, but he has some sort of defenses. Okay, e5 almost traps his queen, but he has one move after e5. e5 threatening bishop e7. He has e5, bishop c5, just by miracle not losing his queen. But I think I might have better. My original plan was to play queen b8. Like, queen b8's more flexible. Okay, honestly, I have no idea what's going on here. I have a little idea, but do I have enough compensation? Probably. Fire-breathing dragon. Nice name. What's up, guys? We're playing just 5+3 blitz. I'm talking a lot and getting distracted about the World Cup. Haven't had time to watch TV. Just caught it. I caught a little bit of the earlier game. Yo, found it. He found it. Oh, no. No, he didn't find it. He unfound it. No, bishop c5 is okay. It's actually okay. Running out of time. Alright, let's just take the bishop. We have great dark square compensation. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Look at this. Look at these dark squares. Weaknesses everywhere. It was a weird dragon, classical dragon in this game. But I am down a pawn, for what it's worth. I would think that I have absolute compensation for the sacrificed pawn here. He gave it back. I thought g3 was reasonable there. Wow, he comes up with the king. That's not what I expected. He's dreaming of attacking me down the h-file or something. You see? Eyeing the h-file. It's not such a dream, maybe. It just looks like a dream. Okay, that's not cool. Generating into a blitz battle. Man. My king is okay here. Is your king okay? Wow. Maybe I should have just taken on f5 there. Alright, I think I've got lag. I've got very bad lag. Exciting battle. Spirited attack. Phew, that was fun, huh? That was almost worth a few bits right there, man. Any camels in the chat? We've got multiple camel chat. I've got lag coming at me. I noticed one interesting thing, and many people who are computer gurus might be able to explain this to me, but when I started my stream, I noticed I had really big... When I was about to start the stream, I noticed I had really big lag. So I just shut everything down, started the machine over again. I rebooted, and whatever you want to call it in ancient terminology. And when I restarted everything and restarted OBS and was getting ready to stream, the lag went down to very low. You know, so it seems like why is that? You know, the processes on the computer start to get more and more. It's interesting. All right, let's go on. Wub dub lub lub. I'm just taking this. I'm just taking this. The challenges as we get them, guys. Asterbait, thanks for the donation. Clash Kid 2001. He donated 1,000 bits today. Saul 400 plus. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. So, all right, Wub dub lub lub. Let's play a Karo Khan. Maybe it's can be that you have a Wi-Fi card. I don't know. I was confusing yesterday with with Friday. I thought yesterday was Friday and today was Saturday, and I started saying on the stream that I was going to install my new modem and router today. You know, I was like, "Oh, tomorrow I'm going to install my new router and modem." And oh, you want me to play the Nimzovich? Okay, don't say Nimzo, cuz then we think like Nimzo, you know. Spectacular Camel. You have to say Nimzovich. The Nimzo Indian. I should buy an Ethernet cable. I have an Ethernet cable. It's unplugged in. I'm not on Wi-Fi, but that's not the problem. It's other stuff like just my computer's slow, my internet connection sucks, but hopefully you know it will help to have a new modern modem. Bishop D3 now. So who played this? Capablanca played Queen A5 check and Queen A6, but I think it may not be as good as just straight up C5. Sparkle Horses was a kind of was an indie alternative rock singer group, and he committed suicide. It was one of my favorite bands. I think I was just really into his music when I created the handle, but I like a lot of different kind of music. Castles here, we're just going to develop with knight c6. It's not a Radiohead clone. That's not true, Bob. Not at all. Not at all, Bob. Sorry. In most things, Bob is right, but I don't agree with that. He opened for Radiohead, and actually, one of his last... I like Radiohead. I used to like Radiohead at one point, but I don't agree with Bob. I have to disagree. All right, so C3, what are we doing? I agree that Bob knows a lot of stuff, but I can't agree with him on everything, as much as I would like to. I've got coffee and beer. That's my usual recipe. Coffee with beer. All right, only in the afternoon. Why am I playing Queen B6? I'm not sure. Just feels like a good move. All right. But where was I? I was talking about yesterday I thought was Friday, and today I thought was Saturday. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like install the new modem and the router, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, today's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday. I have time tomorrow, not today. So I didn't really have time to do it today. What is Wubba Dubba Lub Lub doing here? He's moving away from D3. That's kind of weird. Moving away from D3. That's good for me. It's cool with me. I can't just win a pawn and drop my B7 pawn here. So life is not that easy. What if we take and then play, let's see, take, knight e7. Thing is, I'm going to give him a good square for his knight at c3, and I'm really trying to avoid doing that. Let's try something funky. I like this. Coffee-flavored beer. I've been joking about that, you know. But uppers and downers. It's like drinking Red Bull with alcohol. I don't do Red Bull. I don't really like the taste of energy drinks. All right. Bishop e3. Wow. What are we going to do? Knight f5, and he just takes, and we take, and then that's weird. If I take now, you've got all kinds of options. Taking with a knight looks kind of annoying. Taking with a knight, he takes back. Just playing fast. Alright, well, whatever, dude. I'm going to play knight f5. I don't know. It can get worse if it's beer, coffee, and watermelon. With Patron, you make an espresso tequila. Yeah, I saw a commercial for Patron the other day, and it was like making me wanna drink tequila. All right. Once when I was drinking tequila, I had this like moment of enlightenment. The only time I ever had a moment of enlightenment while imbibing in alcoholic beverages. I think there's something to really good high quality tequila that's not present in other, psychedelic kind of, like the mezcal. Do you like mezcal, Bob? You like to drink the worm? Queen c5. All right. I don't really like this. I feel like Wubba Dubba Lub Lub 1300. He's too tough, man, for 1300. Too tough for 1300, Wubba Dubba Lub Lub. I don't like that. You never had it? No, I just I need the coffee and I enjoy the beer. Wubba Dubba Lub Lub's just so good. How the hell is he 1300? It's like playing Nimzovich himself. He made this somewhat lame looking line reasonable for white. Yeah, mezcal tastes really bad. Well, at least what I've had. It's like pretty horrible. Alright, what are we doing here? Yeah, alright. Well, we're not promoting alcohol and drugs here. We're just talking. Alright, let's move on. So, 5 plus 3. Alright, guys, we're going to take as many challenges as we can get. Clash Kid with an awesome donation of 1,000 bits today. Koto, Bob, I Take Back, Bird of Hermes. As long as everyone challenges me to 5 plus 3 casual. Yeah, Wubba Dubba Lub Lub. I mean, I don't understand his rating. I mean, he's 1300, man. Come on. He's just too solid for that. Look how solid he is. It's like ridiculous. God. Exactly. You gotta take with the knight. Alright, bringing it. I'm bringing it. Bring in what we can. What we've got. We don't have much here. We don't have much. Yeah, the Caro Khan, man, it bums me out sometimes. It's like... There was this weird ringing sound. I don't understand what it is. Something outside. He falls apart in the middle game. Well, I mean, okay, maybe Wubba Dub Lub Lub just doesn't do tactics that well, but his fundamental game is okay. We know what he needs to work on. Okay, now this looks... It looks like we're in business now. We weakened him, or he weakened himself at c3. So we've got an in. Very simple position. Very simple position, but hard to negotiate this for him without losing something. Queen sacrifices the back rank. He found the defense. Gosh. He found the defense, darn it. Stop defending, man. Just give it up. Give it up. Rook takes rook, rook takes rook, rook c1. Obviously, rook takes rook, rook takes rook, rook c1. That's got to be the best line for white. Breaking the Caro. He didn't fall for it. But I have queen takes d4. Ooh, that's painful. Does that work? I've been looking for a way to sacrifice my queen. I hope this works. If it doesn't work, I'm in a lot of trouble. Yeah, he did not really consider the ramifications of that. Panic! Be a good old boy and just die, all right? Please, let me win. I'm here to win some games. All right, wub. Solid game, man. I mean, it's slightly worse for white. Like, queen b2 is a blunder. What's he supposed to play though? It's not pleasant, you know. He's gonna be tortured for the next 30 moves at least, like whatever he does here. But the back rank is the main problem, so you got to eliminate the back rank. I mean, it looks like rook takes rook. Okay, rook takes rook. I was joking about rook c1 because of queen takes d4, but that doesn't work. Yeah, this is his best line. What's wrong with this? I have to take with the queen, go into the rook ending, and you try to hang on. What can you do? All right, guys, let's move on. Clash Kid with an awesome donation. All right, you don't fall for that, Clash Kid. You're too good. Back rank mate. It's a trivial matter. But it's really not easy for him to defend that. B3 was the beginning of the end for white. All right, guys. So black again. Let's see. Let's let you be white, okay? I'll let you be white. I'll just play G3. We got 370 ping. I'm so gonna kiss this router goodbye. This modem goodbye. If my other modem really works, I guess I have to send this back to Comcast. Oh man, I wanted to like take a sledgehammer to it. It's probably not the modem's fault that my internet sucks. That's just what Comcast wants me to believe. I don't think the router is relevant at this stage, but I did get a router in case I have to use the Wi-Fi, as you guys say here, in my current location. If you said Wi-Fi in Europe, people would look at you weird. Like, what? You're American. All right. King's Indian Attack. I never play this, but I thought, okay, we'll do something different. I used to like to play this with black, actually. I had my own setup here that I specialized in with the black pieces years ago. Won a couple good games with it. It was kind of subtle and difficult to play, though. You say Wi-Fi like Americans? That's weird. Does everyone in your country do that, Spectacular Camel? In Hungary, they're Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi. Wubba knows what I'm talking about. But I assumed it was like everywhere in Europe. It's just the Hungarians. All right. That's weird. I didn't realize it was like a Hungarian thing. I just assumed it was like all over Europe. All right. In Sweden, we say it like Americans. All right, it's just those Hungarians with their weird language. All right, C3, knight on BD2. We try to push through D4, I guess. So with black here, what I used to do was a weird process where I would actually play something like rook B8, get the rook off the diagonal, and then, now that I think about it, I guess it was something like, how did this go? Rook B8, Queen C7, B6, Bishop B7, and then like bring the rook to D8 or something like that. But that seems kind of slow, actually. Now that looking at it from white's perspective, that seems kind of slow, you know, to do all that stuff like rook B8, B6, Bishop B7. Wouldn't white be pretty well set up by that point? It's a good question. I haven't played this with black in a long time. All right, C3. Yeah, because the Hungarian letter I is pronounced as E, exactly. Wi-Fi. Bishop G4. Okay, Bishop G4 is an approach, but I think I was going to say I think I should play knight B2. Why not? Well, there's knight E5, and then what do I do? Then I play something awkward. Awkward. Like, so should we just play H3 and get that bishop? Now, I have used this sort of setup. It's a known idea. I've actually done this kind of thing that Clash Kid is doing with colors reversed. I had a game in the Zalakaros Open last year where against this Serbian FIDE master woman, a girl, I did something like this with reverse colors, like in an English. But I always feel weird. You're giving that bishop up, and then this bishop is really... It's blocked temporarily, but it can become a dangerous piece. But bishop d7 looks wrong. This looks wrong. I mean, it just looks like white is good here. Shouldn't we just have gained the tempo and have a good center now? All right. So Clash Kid giving us the ideal pawn center. Now he needs to find something to justify this. I'm so used to the whole discussion about Wi-Fi. I'm so used to like saying Wi-Fi and having everyone look at me weird. But now I can say it proudly. Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi. Anyway, I've got to send this old modem back to the cable company. I wanted to take a sledgehammer to it. But it's hanging on here. Hopefully this is its last day. Alright, A6. We've got a ping of 195, which is... It's not good. As you know, Spectacular Camel. But if you don't have super fast internet, 195 is passable. Alright, so he's doing the queenside thing. We could play e5. You know, interesting player, Mr. Nezmedinov, who's famous as an attacker. He had a thing for playing like the Rasalimo, which I always thought was weird. Such a good tactical player, playing such closed positions. But e5 is interesting. You know, if we go e5, he goes like knight to d5. Then we play knight... I want to play knight e4, but I'll drop a pawn. We could play it and just take on d5. That's also good for me. I feel like I'm releasing the tension here a little bit early. Oh, but actually, I win a pawn there. Win a pawn, man. You can't just give me a pawn. You can't just give me a pawn. 2 pawns. 3. Give me a lot of pawns. I'm not a materialist. Okay, his move e6 was kind of weird. You have to admit. Cue up the Ancient Aliens. You have to admit that when, you know... Kirsan Ilumzhinov is actually in trouble with FIDE now. They're filing an ethics complaint against him. Maybe finally we'll see the end of Kirsan. Who knows though? It can't be possible. All right, so taking the pawn. This is one of those situations where it's not a no-brainer because like it's almost like he almost wants to lose that pawn. You know, it's so weak and it gets in the way of everything. He'll have freedom. You know, sometimes losing something gives you freedom. Losing money, losing your best friend. You can lose the pawn on d5 and just feel free. And I don't want him to feel free. The pawn's not going anywhere. So we can consider not winning it. But I guess, all right, let's be objective. Objectively, it's a pawn. Bob says not being materialistic is hard for anyone that can't analyze the position to win the value of one pawn. That's true, Bob. That's true. And I think you have to be a pretty high level to make a decision like that. What I'm talking about is not taking that pawn because I'm saying, you know what? We give him freedom if we do that. It's a tough position. I'm very curious if we want to take a moment when this game is over to put Stockfish on that position. I will not be surprised if it thinks it might be better not to take the pawn. Modern computer programs like Stockfish are much less materialistic than the older ones. They appreciate the positional aspects of the game much more. An old computer program would have instantly taken the pawn, no doubt, no questions asked. But we've got other good assets now. I mean, our pieces are well centralized. That's good. It's not that simple, however. Do you want to argue that black has compensation for the sacrificed, quote-unquote, sacrificed pawn here? Court is open. If you want to make an argument for having compensation. No, you might have some sort of case, let's say. I'm tied down to my extra pawn. Isn't it like such a liability? It sucks having an extra pawn, you know? That's the extra pawn I have to protect. Yasser Seirawan is an old computer program. I really try not to be too materialistic. This is one of the things I try to promote. R.I.P. Soltigo, what's up, guys? I'm not gonna make it after this one. What's up? Dinner time. All right, Soltigo. We'll see you later. Go and take care of your dinner. Seirawan likes to grab pawns. You know, I've never really listened to Yasser that much. I have a few times, mostly live. I don't know his. I never really thought about his opinion on the matter. I respect Yasser a lot, though. We haven't played too many games. We never played. It's very funny. Seirawan is one of the only American grandmasters I never got paired with. But that's for a reason, because he rarely plays, period. So it's not a coincidence that Yasser is like one of the only American GMs I've never played. I need to channel like some extremely strong player, like some sort of top Russian grandmaster right now. Man, who's really good technically? The name Slatchy, it's originally my ex-dog. You guys can see him. My ex-dog. Bishop takes. Well, knight to d4. That's not what I expected, but okay. Sledgy was the nickname of my dog, oddly enough. Okay, Clash Kid blundered into this rook exchange, which is going to be a technical grind. I think he'd much rather have kept a rook on the board. Looks like his rook is trapped there. Oh, he's not trapped. I was wrong. Man, I'm about to flag. Oh, man. All right. I just dropped a pawn, huh? Is that important? Dropping pawns? Alright. Not an easy game. I knew this was going to happen. Like, this would be really tough. Because of the situation. Whoa. guess he calculated this. Why are you resigning? It looks like a premature resignation. Maybe white's winning, but it's not easy. Because he has king h7 here. You know, this is a premature resignation. He's getting this guy here. So, I wouldn't give up just yet. My pawns should probably win, but because they're far advanced with my king supporting. But a little bit premature resignation there. Anyway. Guys, see? That was my dog. That's the original Sludgy. That's his picture, so it wasn't planned out. I mean, I created the name for my poker handle years ago, like 15 years ago, or you know, I don't know. It was probably 15 years ago, and so I just stuck with it. Everybody calls me that, my poker friends and stuff. So, all right, guys, let's move on. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to check that position that we talked about. You know, where I grabbed the pawn. So check this out, right? Here we are in the key position where I can opt to win a pawn or not win a pawn, you know? First of all, kudos to Clash Kid, because he understands chess enough, you know, to know that most players would play like 98 here. I don't want to lose a pawn, you know? He has the sense to realize that it's better to lose a pawn and activate his pieces than 95 was no, it was correct. You're absolutely on the ball, man. I mean, this is correct, dude. Look at the evaluation. Like, if you play a passive move here, your position is negative 1.8, okay? 95 is absolutely, like, exclamation point. Like, you have to do this. And then the question is, should I win the pawn or not? Because a big part of me wanted to not win the pawn. Like, just play this positionally here. Maybe just bishop f4. The computer is a big supporter of bishop g5, but I thought, you know, maybe we play just like bishop f4, you know, and then you have to like worry about that pawn. And maybe you'll play with the passive bishop on e6 or something like that. It's something to think about. Anyway, objectively, I guess I'm supposed to win the pawn. I don't know. Koto. We're just going to call him Koto. Thanks so much, Clash Kid, Juicebox Wizard. Today was Clash Kid and Saul, who made big donations to the stream. Really appreciate it, guys. Sunday is a simul. I'm playing, let's play G6 today. Today's Friday, so we're just doing 5+3 casual blitz against all challengers. Usually I favor the subscribers and take those first, but today it's just open challenges. Sunday is a simul. We're playing at 4:30. The simuls had been earlier, but I'm going to make it for 4:30. And that's EDT, Eastern Daylight Time. I'm used to saying European time. They were doing the Gingy Indian. I have the feeling I probably might have played this against this guy before. We played a number of games, and G6 is one of my default alternative defenses. Merle and Asterbait also donated. That's correct. Merle donated several hundred today. I think 200. Asterbait, well, Asterbait is up to 1755. What did we get for Asterbait donations today? Wow. Asterbait, where's Asterbait? Asterbait must have donated a couple hundred. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks, JCS, for remembering those, helping me remember those guys. What's going on here? All right, H4, classic move from Koto. This is one of the moves that Roman Gingiashvili was most concerned about when he taught me this. This is like one of Gingy's favorite lines. So what are we doing here? Queen A5 or D6? I guess D6 was Roman's recommendation. I don't know where this stands really in the recent... I haven't looked at the theory in the last couple of years. I don't play this often. I'll play it on a very rare occasion with black, in order to kind of just mix it up and play something that people aren't expecting. Bits is not equal to euros. Saji has done better than most Hungarian cam girls. You think so? Bob, you are an expert in that kind of thing. But don't share too much with us, okay? So queen a5, this is a funny line. Like take, rook takes h8, queen takes c3 check. That was one of Roman's favorite variations. Okay, now I can't maintain the tension anymore because of h takes g. So we take here. This is one of Gingy's favorite lines. Read the news. All right, Bob. Bob is always on the cutting edge of the topical conversation. The world of topical conversations. Controversial at best. All right. So, well, I hope that I'm more constructive than that. And instructive. And beautiful, too. We get beautiful a lot. Smart, beautiful. People love my hair. Or lack thereof. Alright, e4. What is happening here? So we're taking the classic Gingy Indian walk at this point. The classic walk. No problem. I mean, we just do, Anatoly Karpov. And that's where we're walking in the Leningrad Nimzo. But a passing glance, we should probably look at knight f6 as a possibility here. Because knight f6 simply defends the guy or girl, whatever you want to call it. Knight f6 defends the cam girl on f5. So do we take on e4, let him take on h5, go king d8 and go for a walk? Or do we play like knight f6 and how do we feel about that? Or we could preemptively go for a walk with king d8. I like developing my pieces. I kind of like developing my pieces here. All right. There is the e5. He didn't even think about it. Wow. I was actually thinking about what about rook b1? What am I going to do? Joe Cal likes e5 there. I didn't calc too deep, so there might be something there. Santo Pedro, thank you. So king d8, king d7, we just walk away at any convenient moment. But again, I think the secret to chess is not to be too materialistic. One of the many secrets. Is it not inevitable that we're going to have to play king d8? So let's just do it and keep our options open. I guess you could play bishop g4 there. It feels very materialistic to me. But if I had all the time in the world, I would consider it. But I think our priority at this point is to get ourselves king safe and developed and control the center. Pretty rational position, obviously. This is not your everyday position. Someone's suggesting knight e4, but it doesn't develop. What word? What's the word? Knight h3. That develops. That definitely develops. All right. Out of here. My bishop's not getting trapped. He's got a fork. Fork from hell. Okay. I don't like that. All right, we're continuing the walk. The walk for hunger. We lost last time to Koto, and what was that, a simul game? That's where I dropped my rook in the simul game. Oh, he took the check on e6. No. Where's the button?
N-O. No!
That's not the one I like.
No.
Yeah, I like that one. You see, I'm so happy to see that because it just makes things so much simpler. Now, in fairness, like, it's actually not that bad of a move. I just like pressing the button. But on the other hand, I feel like it just reduces his options quite a bit. I mean, the knight could have gone to f7, could have gone to e6. We don't know what's happening, and like he does it, and I'm like, okay, now I know what to do. You know, now I know what the situation is fixed. It's like the structure's fixed. Things are much more clear. I don't have to guess what's going to happen next. So my greatest criticism of knight e6 is like the committal nature of going there, and that makes it easier for me to formulate plans. The other thing is 2 knights versus 2 bishops is a pretty good deal. Okay, this definitely wasn't on the radar. I did not expect him to be doing that. All right. This is a pretty weird situation. Okay. But again, a lot of simplification going down here. Am I going to have problems with my pawn? Yeah, I don't want to have problems with my pawn, sir. I guess we can protect it. This is getting a little awkward. He's awfully fast, too. Alright. Well, I just need to not lose on time. I think black is better here. There's no question. But we have to be careful. We have reasonable king safety. We're up a pawn. We're up a pawn. I had a friend who, man, he's calculated quite a bit there. He must have calculated quite a bit. I mean, check, another check. King c6, king b6. Wow. Nice calculation there. You quoted Seinfeld. Isn't Bob Sacamano from Seinfeld? Oh, now you want to do that. Coordination. Even material. No, that's not happening. I'm gonna drop my knight. Damn it. Just drop my knight. Now we got it. Ooh, that's nasty. Alright. Now we got him in the the X-ray. That's just evil. But F3 would have been putting up some resistance. Certain issues. Ooh, this looks ugly. Okay, the Gingy Indian strikes back. Yeah, it's always fun. Always a crazy game. Okay, guys, let's take the next challenger. Bob, I take back. We got all 5+3 casuals. Let's do it. Guys, the next stream will be Sunday simul, 25 players, 40 time control. But this week it is at 4:30, the same as this stream, 4:30 p.m. EDT. All right, I'm warmed up. I'm playing E4 now. How do you approach body language in chess? Body odor is a more serious issue. Arsenal fan. But body language, in what context do you mean? Like giving away information or gaining information, or just like people being annoying? Laughing at my own joke. I hate that. I mean, I don't think like, I don't know what perspective are we asking this question from, Arsenal fan? Give me more info on what you mean exactly. Try saying a check on each move. Well, no, if you want to be annoying, I mean, that's definitely what we should go for. How hard do you hit the clock? Yeah, I think when I was younger, I tried to be more, I don't know, intimidating or something. I didn't go overboard or really like, I really exaggerate. I like, once I had this like cigarettes when I was smoking. It was like, I was playing some guy and I bought some novelty cigarettes. It was like death cigarettes with like a skull and crossbones on it. Just leave them at the board. That was like definitely intimidating for the opponent. No, I'm just gonna take here. This is main line. Main line. I don't play this line. I don't think anyone ever actually played the proper Steinitz defense against me. I'll try to come up with a serious answer for Arsenal fan. I have to admit that I probably have tried to be, like kind of intimidating at the board. Never like super consciously. I definitely want to act confident, but I'm not like going out of my way. There are certain things that people do. Okay, Alexander Ivanov, a grandmaster who I played many times. One thing that he does, which I don't know if he's been doing it all his life, or when he likes his position a lot, okay, he starts to like screw in the pieces. It's like, it's kind of diss. I mean, but he's a professional and, he just enjoys playing the game. He'll actually, the better his position gets, like the more Sasha will just actually like, just screw it in and screw it in and screw it in and screw it in and screw it in. Like it's a, it's a screw. Like he's just really having fun, and it can get pretty demoralizing for the opponent to have like an international grandmaster doing that, I mean, at some point. So there are definitely things that people do. I like that. But usually I'm pretty good. Like I try to be like, I really try to be pretty fair, even when I was younger. I really like, I only like do things that are, kind of, I would never do anything to bother someone on purpose, but if someone was annoying to me in some way, I might retaliate, I've had wars with people about their feet under my table and stuff like that. I've gotten really upset about it. But as far as like, yeah, I don't like when people stare at me. That's another thing. If people will stare at me, I will stare back at them. I've even made faces at some of my opponents, like sometimes, who were like staring at me like in really, really annoying ways. So I try to be well behaved, but if other people provoke me, then I've done funny things. Offering draws too many times, but I'm getting off the subject a little bit of actually body language, I try to be fair, but if people are gonna do weird stuff to me, I might retaliate, Like, I won't stare at my opponents unless they start staring at me, you know? And I try to be really considerate about that. Okay, here's a crazy move. Wow, d5. Never even entered my mind. Man, that looks almost insane, and it doesn't seem like there's an absolute refutation. Wow. Um, okay. Crazy. This is crazy. That's an insanely interesting move from Bob that you could just never imagine that's even possible. How can that be possible, Bob? So obviously if I take on d5 with the pawn, he has to take with the bishop. And there doesn't seem to be anything. Am I into psychology? I don't know if you're asking me. I studied psychology in college. I have a degree. My major was psychology, but that was a long time ago, and I don't consider myself an expert in psychology. Um, Might as well resign after that move. Bob, I'm not seeing a resignation in your future. I'm not slow rolling you, you know. Okay, if people do stupid stuff like they don't resign during a game or something like that, I might play with them like queening 3 different pawns or something. Man, I don't know what to do here. I don't see it, Bob. Bob's like playing with me. He's playing with me. I don't see what I have here. I'm going to run out of time. Um, People that don't resign when they're down a piece in a long game, and they're like 500 rating points lower, I will, maybe like torture them by queening, making 3 queens or something like that. I've done funny stuff like that, but it's more of a juvenile kind of thing. Nowadays, I probably wouldn't do that. But as far as body language, I don't like people staring at me. I don't like kids' dads staring at me. Victor Erdosh's father made me uncomfortable when I played against him. I like Victor a lot, but once like I was playing him and his dad like kept looking at me during the game, that really makes me uncomfortable. Like friends of the player staring at you or something. I've got nothing here. Bob is bluffing me, man. I mean, he's like, or just kind of messing with me. I have no advantage. I really don't have an advantage here. And I must have missed something. Bob's like, I might as well resign now. Like, what are you talking about? Resign? Why? Man. I don't think I even have anything. Did I have anything? I probably had something, but I probably had to play. I look forever here, for something that isn't there. And maybe I should play d5, but then he just plays knight e4. And then I have e6, but he has bishop f6. I mean, it's really weird. There's a lot of strange complication going on there, and I just didn't find anything. I just didn't find anything here. I think it's just equal. I mean, white has some kind of absolutely microscopic advantage, but based on my bishop being a little better than his bishop and having another move, but it's almost nothing. Man, Bob. Reverse psychology working very well for Bob there. He's like, might as well resign after that brilliant move, which maybe like spend another 45 seconds trying to find something that wasn't there. It was a good trap, Bob. Good job. Speaking of psychology, Bob's trying to make me think he blundered when he didn't. And I'm looking and looking and it's not there. multiple draw first. You know, there's a lot of things that will irritate a player. But I'm talking about body language. That was Arsenal's original question. I might as well resign. Okay. No, I would just maybe accept a draw, but I wouldn't resign. Thanks so much for the bit donation, guys. Oh, mate with 3 knights, Pichu. I never thought about that. That sounds kind of hard to do. Alright, Bob. Bob, just for the sake of ending this. Bob, is d5 for real? It's a real move, dude. I didn't think that would be possible. That's insane. So, Bob with the theoretical novelty of the decade. There's 3 games here. Everyone played Rook E8. Bob just plays d5. I'm thinking, oh my god, there has to be something for white, like crushing here. There just isn't, you know? I used all my time, and I just have an equal position. Alright, man. Anyway, we learned something interesting there. I used all my time. You saw me torture an opponent last month on lichess. I pushed 4 pawns to the 7th rank, then run his king back to take his last 2 queenside pawns. That's right. Yeah, that's the old me. But I had a reason for doing that. He was playing on, like, down 6 pieces or something. You know? He was wasting my time. I was like, of course. No, I mean, that wasn't just for, you know, being sadistic. You know, he needed to learn a lesson to resign when he's down like 2 or 3 pieces or something like that. I will not sadistically torture people because, you know, some marginal case. That was an extreme example of my anti playing on too long strategy. Thanks for telling on me, JCS. As a beginner, I have no idea how d5 can be that significant. Dude, you just equalized the game. You just equalized the game. My whole advantage consists of my central pawn on e4. That's my whole advantage in that position. If you can achieve d5, I think you're achieving fundamental equality. You know, I think it changes everything. So I take back. No takebacks. Yeah, immediately, like an Arsenal fan, a good definition. It neutralizes the strong central pawn of white. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most important point. You know, my advantage consists of that, you know. And there's a secondary factor there. I mean, I have traded a bishop for a knight there in that game. And as you open up the position with e5, your 2 bishops could become significant as well. Very weird opening from take back here. He's been a tough opponent for me lately. Okay, let's challenge him in the center. And I could take with the knight or the pawn here. This is kind of wimpy, taking with the knight. I think that's a very, very, very important achievement. Absolutely. It's like if takeback could play d4 here. You know, I mean, it wouldn't be quite the same. But you understand the point. It looks like you're doing the impossible when you play d5, Bob. Like, my entire position is sort of geared toward controlling that, and you're doing it in my face, you know? It's like, wow. You got 3 master games. Nobody did that. They didn't realize that d5 was even possible, I think. So, takeback is talented. He's unpredictable. He's had good positions against me 3 games in a row. All right. B6 trying to counteract the long diagonal. Here again, I think we have superiority in central control, like the c5 and the e6 pawn. I have 2 pawns controlling the center, whereas I take back has just the d3 pawn. I mean, that's kind of feeble in terms of pawn control of the center. He's traded off his strong point. The Sakamano variation. I'd like to see you use it in your next World War tournament. Well, I don't play the black side of the Steinitz or the Pez, but if I did, I would let you know. Oh no. Take back just castled into suicide. Man, that's unfortunate. He just set himself up for that. Unfortunate moment to castle. We got everything working, and this is just kind of a lucky shot. But actually, Bob, to be perfectly frank, I think I don't like that variation that much. Wow. Takeback finds a defense here. Most people would have resigned, but he just stuck it out and found the saving move. Black's winning here, but I don't see a really clean win. I can win a pawn a couple different ways. I'm not winning a piece like I thought I was. Man, that's frustrating. Okay, queen d6. Another really funny move. Queen d7. Queen d7. I guess this is the best. The best a man can get. Gillette. I'm just practicing for when I get a real sponsor for the stream, you know? Does anybody have a better move? I mean, I have so many moves that are good, but what's the best of the lot, you know? Feels like we should be winning. You got the smart choppers on the long diagonal. Just put your bishops on the long diagonals and take things. Now, knight e5 is tricky, but I had some secret move here. I guess it... No, I'm just winning a piece here. All right. I'm just winning a piece in this line. It's just like take, take, take. We don't have to get fancy. You know, we're just winning. Check. I can do this way. There's a lot of ways to skin this cat. Juicebox Wizard, what's up? Multiple cat skinning methods here. That was really just a terrible blunder by white. Alright. You can't offer you a move, but I can say that your tan, of course, is perfect. Surplus 10. Alright. I think the tint, you guys aren't that old, but when I was a little kid, we had one of these old televisions that had this like dial on it that you could adjust the tint. And I think that the tint of my my webcam is a little bit making me look like more red than I really am. I have a new webcam. We should hook it up. But I like being tan. Alright. Back to knight f3. Let's play this stuff. This is weird. Anyone else here have an old television when they were a little kid and it had like the tint dial on it? I use like bronzer to make myself look more yellow. Alright, what are we doing? He's just playing knight c6. Wow, we get the weird French that I've played sometimes if I play d4 now. That'll be fun. Alright, let's go for this. The pseudo-French. What's my average center-pawn loss for classical games? The good question. I have no idea. I would hope it would be, you know, well, obviously it's like, it's a little dependent on how strong your opponents are. I haven't played enough classical games on lichess. What am I doing? I don't know why I was going to play bishop e5. Is that a good move? It might be okay. It's kind of weird. We could really enter the twilight zone with bishop e5, but that's not really. Bishop d3 doesn't seem right either. I think I have to declare my customs. Juicebox Wizard, thank you so much. Arsenal fan, 500 donation from Juicebox Wizard. He activated a football giveaway for 17 others in chat. Cheer any amount to get football emotes. Alright, I'm going to do this crazy move. I don't think this is right, but it could be fun. Inovo Eddie. New opponent for us. I guess e5 or something like that would be like the standard way to approach this. Well, he just did h6. I don't know. I want to go crazy here and do and pretend I'm like Mikhail Tal or something. Thanks so much, Juicebox Wizard. Mullets. Wait, what? Mullet size of int. Okay. MALOC would be like the Hungarian spelling of pig. Mullets. Alright. Bishop d7 now. I wanted to play queen g4, but that's out. What are we doing here? Bishop d7, simple move. Simple move, perfectly good. Mullet size of int. Someone's suggesting queen h5. That's going to be nasty. You know, all the time I was like planning on trying to play queen g4 at some point. Now you drew that to my attention. You know, it's so rare that you actually play queen h5. There was a game. I remember there was a game from the 80s that was really classic. It was like Spassky against Lajos Portish. And Portish Lajos, who I like a lot. And Portish was late. It wasn't in the 70s. It might have even been in the 60s. It was an old game, and like Portish got slaughtered. He played like some experimental opening. I like queen g4 here. That was my original plan. We'll stick with the original plan. I'm not so primitive to play queen h5, you know. Alright, what do we got? We're out of beer for today. We're out of beer for today. That's it, guys. All the fun is over. We've got donations. And a lot of fun. Today's my only open challenge day. we've got about, let's see, we've got about how much time left? I got 2 clocks on my computer, so I never know what time it really is. It's 11:55 in Hungary. In the United States, it's 5:55. So G5. He's asking for it. Kind of hard to argue with H4 here. There's knight F6. That's a problem. Knight F6 is a problem. What am I going to do? And I can't just sit here and let him play knight F6. Yeah, I guess queen H5 now. And this is weird. And I'm using a lot of time. You should be studying for your upcoming exams. Wow, it's pretty late. June the 15th. I want to play bishop takes G5 so bad, but it doesn't work, does it? I just want to make it work somehow. It just doesn't work. Make it work. If it doesn't work, you make it work, right? Just make it work. Can we make it work? I'm thinking we can make it work. Just picture this. Bishop takes G5. Is there a hole in my analysis? Yes. There is a small hole in my analysis. Alright, it'll be fun. We'll go for it. There's a very small hole in my analysis. Tiny, tiny hole. What's up, everyone? Bishop G5 does work. He didn't even challenge it. Oh no. He didn't even challenge it. Now I have queen H4. This could get weird. There's probably a simpler way to play this. He does have something here, unfortunately. He shouldn't resign because your bishop takes here, check. I wonder if I should play king d1 on bishop takes a3. Bishop takes, c3 check. B takes c, queen a3. Unpinning and threatening queen takes c3 check. What's going on after that? You get out of the pin, you can take on e4. And I'm not threatening anything right away. So let's see. See? You resigned too early. Don't give up hope. You have this. This is very good counterplay. Queen a3 here. Staying alive. And I'm better, but it's a game. Totally a game now. So premature resignation. Did I miss something better than bishop takes g5? Well, the key defense I thought was bishop takes g5, queen takes g5, queen takes f7, check king d8, and queen takes e6. And I'm threatening knight f7. But the computer says that I have a better move. Castle or something. Rook h7. And you can give up the exchange on f7. Crazy stuff. All right, guys. Fun game. He resigned too early. Don't resign too early. Fight it out. Look for resources. Never be intimidated by your higher rated opponent. I've beaten I've won maybe 50 games against international grandmasters in serious long games, I mean, if I was intimidated, that wouldn't have happened. Sometimes you get intimidated, but you have to be confident. All right. Don't give up. Never give up hope. B6 is a better move against knight f3 than it is against e4. This is interesting. My options are a little bit more limited. I think the Owen defense, it's improved against knight f3. So I have to go knight c3. The critical move. You have more options if white plays e4, black plays b6. White has more options for different setups like d4, bishop d3, delaying knight f3. So it's kind of funny. You think it's like all the same, but it's not the same. Like b6, and I actually like b5. That's also Shandor Kushtar versus me back in like 2004. You gotta have hope. Thanks so much, guys, for the donations. Juicebox Wizard 2,500 this week. Clash Kid 2000. You can also support the stream with a PayPal donation. Really appreciate it. So now we transpose to this. What is it called? Christian Bauer. Very creative, great guy. Really like him. He's a French grandmaster, one of the top, French players for quite a few years. He's written a book on the Owen defense, and he also, he doesn't just write books on openings. He actually writes books about openings he actually plays. There's a lot of chess players out there who just crank out opening books on different openings that they don't even know that much about. But Bauer actually plays these openings that he writes about, and he's got a lot of crazy games. B6 and the Sicilian and just the Owen defense in general are two of the systems that he's used successfully in top flight chess practice. The Hungarian grandmaster Chom István is another guy I know who he's retired from playing actively now, but he's another guy who played the Sicilian with b6. Kind of a cool idea, And if you want to try something a little offbeat but still sound, I think like e4, c5, knight f3, b6 is a good try. But here he should really, Pichu should take on d4. I mean, that's in Magyarul. In Hungarian, we say musai. This means it must be played. To play c takes d4, it's mandatory. You have to do it. He played e6, and I think now black just has a bad game after d5. It's playable, but black has a dubious position after d5. Musai, c takes d4. Now, he has a form of something like I played sometimes in the St. George, but I like the St. George a lot better because you got a6 and b5 in the St. George. You have a much more expanded pawns on the queen side and a better chance over there. So this is an unimproved version of that. I mean, it doesn't win itself. I'm not going to win automatically here, but I think black has a dubious position. Okay. It's tempting to play, d6, but I think we're overextending ourselves there. What to do? A4 at some point looks useful. I might wait a moment for that. But where do I put my pieces? Bishop g5 is bad. I think it's bad. Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, the problem is bishop g5, h6, and then what? I could play bishop g5, h6, bishop f4. I mean, that's probably not a bad inclusion. Inclusions. Bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, g5, knight takes g5, sacking a piece. Interesting but crazy. So, I don't know. I'm using up all my time here, guys. Right. I'm just repeating Arsenal fans' line, it appears. I didn't realize. It's interesting, Arsenal. I mean, it's fun. You could try it. But my gut instinct is that it's kind of messy and not clear. And I want to just have a better game here without any questions asked. So what do? We go bishop g5. We chop on f6. We play it like a Blumenfeld. That's interesting. Can we play this like a Blumenfeld? And just take on f6 as lame as that might look, it might not be bad. This is weird. Wow. He played ED pretty quickly. That seems strange. Yeah, this has got to be good for white. But I'm just taking here. You know, you just made me remember a book that I never really recommended on the stream. But there's this book by, I thought it was like Kira's and someone else. There is a tactics book by, I guess, Richter. But there was another tactics book by Kira's, and it involved mostly a lot of examples from openings. I'm trying to remember what it is. The Art of the Combination or something. I don't remember now. There was something about the Art of the Combination, I want to say. Book I haven't seen in a long time. The problem is we had the intermezzo check on e2. You know, he's going to lose a piece here. Pichu thought this was... he thought this was my Wednesday weird opening stream. Mistakenly. Well, I guess there's nothing fancy I can do. I just have to take the material. He has some compensation. That the rolling pawns in the center are a little scary, so I'm not certain that I played this optically. But I'll take it. I'm up a piece for, what, 1 pawn? Feels like he has 100 pawns. You know, doesn't it feel like 100 pawns? Not the Art of the Middle Game. No. It was a combination book. There's a book by Kira's and someone else. I thought it was the Art of the Combination. Nobody knows that. Tomorrow I'm playing a 15-0 tournament where GM Plaskett used to play also. The Red Baron is going to be there? Talk about body language. You know, that guy, when he's so arrogant. When I came to this game with him, this is years and years ago. I mean, he's got this like big red scarf. He looks like Snoopy and the Red Baron. Now we take with the pawn. Okay, chess combination is a fine art. Good job, man. Surplus 10 figured it out. Okay, that was it. So Kira's and Goltz. Good book. It's a really good tactics book. There was another tactics book I really liked by Rouser. But this trick in the opening where I win a piece, There's some similar example in there of that the same kind of thing. Yeah, that's a very good book. That Chess Combination is a Fine Art. Good job. Probably out of print. It's like an older book. All right. What happened there in the opening? Well, you know, the critical question is like he should have played h6, you know. Or was it not e takes d5? You have to play h6 here. I've done a video on the Blumenfeld Gambit, a video series on the Blumenfeld Gambit for the chessworld.com, and this reminds me a little bit of like some weird Blumenfeld Gambit line. But I also played the St. George, so I've been in some weird situations with black. I mean, you got to play h6 here. And then Arsenal fans' line of this crazy piece sacrifice is kind of interesting. I thought it was unclear. He, like in the semi-Slav, he could probably play rook g8 and even think about... What? I'm lagging. Wow, we have sudden lag. I was going to say rook g8, but bishop h6 is even stronger. Wow, this just stops the pin. You can just break the pin directly with bishop h6. So it's not good. It's not good, Mr. Arsenal fan. Good try. No, I have to take... Well, actually, you could play bishop g3. You know, I didn't really think about this possibility. But as long as that diagonal's open, man, that bishop's going to be strong. All right. All right, Soltigo. I lost a really bad game to Plaskett. It was awful. I played the black side of the knight f6 Scandinavian. He just crushed me. But he was so... I don't know. You know, he's a kind of arrogant guy. I don't really like his manner. But that's him. You know, that's him. He's funny. I mean... He was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and he complained that his buzzer didn't work, and that's why he didn't win. Soltigo played f6. Alright, knight f3, f6. Well, we can transpose to the... We can transpose to... What is that called? The Ponzi... What is that? The Ponziani? No, that's not the Ponziani. I'm losing my mind. What is this called when they go e5 there? Okay, Soltigo. I like to play knight h6 myself. Challenge my bot. Keep your bot to yourself. No, I'm just kidding. e4, e5, f6. e4, e5, knight f3, f6. It's called the Damiano. Damiano. Yes, Camel Culture beat me to the punch. I've got memory loss. It's not something you think about every day, the Damiano. It like loses by force. I recall like something Fisher had analyzed that or something. It just loses by force. I think knight takes e5. Alright. That might have not been known like 20 years ago. So once I lost against World Loser in Blitz. The rat defense. It's a kind of rat. When you do g6, f6, knight h6, knight f7. I don't know. What is this called? What does it say? It doesn't say. We need to be an analysis board. Mule Skinner said he acted a bit arrogant last year when the tournament started. Typical GM. Yeah, I would say he's a little on the scale, a little higher than the typical GM. I don't know him really well. But I did play a few tournaments where he was there. And I don't know. He likes attention. He's very... Yeah, he has a reputation. But the Red Baron scarf was something else, man. All right. Maybe I'm just bitter because he crushed me like a bug. That was really bad line of the Scandinavian with knight f6. There's knight takes e5, queen e7, not losing. I thought the Damiano just lost, but I might be wrong. I'm not an expert. The last time I checked it with the computer, it was like really bad for black. I don't go around checking it every day, but that was my impression. Now this bishop on b3, I'm not sure. It feels like I'm playing the hillbilly attack here against the Caro-Kann a little bit. You know, if he starts setting up his pawns with like c6 and d5. Is there a cockroach defense? Surplus 10. You know, I had this conversation a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was more like a month ago. Well, not that long. Yeah, in the last few weeks, I was saying how someone said they got crushed like a bug. And I said, hey, don't be so hard on bugs. You know, cockroaches, they're like resistant to nuclear radiation. Um, Beetles are pretty tough, you know, so this getting crushed like a bug thing is kind of discriminatory. Acerbate likes the hillbilly attack. E4, C6, bishop C4, Acerbate. I don't know who came up with the name. It may have been Jack Young from Bozo's Chess Emporium. Don't know if Jack Young's still around. But certain insects are quite tough. So the expression crushed like a bug, you know, it's kind of unfair to tougher insects. Queen E7. I feel like I'm just routinely developing my pieces without a plan, something I often criticize others for. But I've got so much. You have one game called Hillbilly. So Big Buck Hunter. I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow in the 15. So the Red Baron won't be there. I'm sorry to hear that. Was he living in Spain, Plaskett? Okay, bishop e3. I know that he was like married to a woman or who wrote erotic fiction. Also very interesting. He may be arrogant, but he seems like an interesting guy. All right. Your two kids are also playing. That's awesome. Wow. 15 minutes. Good for the kids. Don't get bored playing the 15-minute tournament. He lives in Costa del Sol. Okay. Knows how to live life. Give Jimmy my regards. Tell him nice scarf. Okay, Queen D6 now. Soltigo just, yeah, he's trying to play solidly. It's really hard to crack Black's position, and I don't know where to put my king here. You feel like you don't want to commit. And I talk about this a lot, but I feel it here very much so that I don't like to play very close positions in fast time controls, obviously. But seriously, good luck with that tournament, Mule Skinner. Hopefully, our games will prepare you a little bit. Can I play e5? I just drop a pawn for nothing if I do that. Just absolutely drop a pawn for nothing. What do you guys want to do? Castle kingside, castle queenside? Do you have any preference? Any preferences? Alright, I'm going to go long. I feel like my rooks, but we need to act, act accordingly here. You like castle kingside? Knight c6 has been played. That looks kind of weird because I can pry him open. Generally, any kind of hippo sort of thing, you want to do a move that doesn't let me open it up. Like d5, I'm going to force the lines open. And that's probably good for me. Kind of, can't speak. Hippo formation is what I'm trying to say. Very hippo-like. So, alright. We opened it up. We've achieved something. Something of some sort. But still not so easy. What do you guys want to do? Go and get him. We're going to go and get him. But it's not that simple. I kind of like knight d4. Could get a little weird. If I want to skewer my own queen to my king here. But not so easy. King B1, anyone? At some point? You want to do H4, H5? Well, Panda, where's Panda? My God. Panda's sleeping. Panda! Panda! See, in Hungarian, Panda is Panda. And therefore he became Panda. Alright. Where are you going with your king? Don't move too fast, because I gotta get the Panda. Oh no, we had an accident. The Death Star just crashed. Alright, major catastrophe. Knight C5. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And this is starting to look good. I like this. You could do this. No, don't give, you know better than that. Don't give me more time. Hey. H4. Hey. Hello? Hello? Oh. Why didn't you play H4? Hey. Soltico didn't castle, man. You're just all about the H4. He didn't even castle yet. If he castled kingside, I think about H4. Alright? See, he's castling queenside. Fatality. I feel a fatality coming on. You know what a fatality? It's very similar to fatality. There's got to be winning for white, right? Soltico just crazy with the delayed castling. That has to be a fatality. There is that move B6. Unfortunately for him, we have some in-between move. Now what? There's got to be a winning move here. Where is it? Okay, I kind of spazzed out with 96, but I thought it's interesting. Look, mono check. There's stuff with that. Queen sacrifices. I hope this would be sufficient. All of our pieces are in the game. Alright, good job, Ponda. Was this sound? It didn't happen? I had something better? So 96 isn't really enough, or what? This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. But I was down to 30 seconds here, and I didn't see retreating with Queen C4. I didn't like the idea of retreating at this point. So it was forward. Fortunately, the third best move was good enough. The other knight giveaway was good apparently too, with knight c6. If black went king b8 instead of b6, is queen takes a7 winning right away? Uh-huh. Yeah, why didn't I consider that? Yes. Yes, that's sick. Oh man, that's beautiful, right? Beautiful, beautiful. It's insane. Smothered mate. Double check and mate. That's the way to do it. Okay, guys, what do we got going on here now? We started at 4:30, so we have a half an hour, 35 minutes left. Thanks so much for the donations, Juicebox Wizard, Clash Kid, and let's see who else today. Acerbate, Merle Dixon. So much, guys. I'm sorry if I missed you guys. That was fun. Lots of fun, but Soltico makes it possible by playing crazy openings. Whitest Boy Alive, it challenged me to rated. He tried to sneak in the rated challenge. That's not going down. Whitest Boy Alive, if you want to challenge me, you can challenge me to casual, and I will take it. But no rated. No rated on the beer drinking stream. All right. What's up? Hey. I want to play H4, but I never get a chance. All right? So you guys, make sure you fianchetto. Then I can play H4, or at least Castle Kingside. Ponda is obsessed with this one single idea, you know. But if Black isn't going to Castle Kingside, I can't really justify playing H4 there in that hippo type of situation. M. Lochik, like, he's just trying to be weird with the 4+4 challenge. Alright, it's close enough to 5+5. I'll play this. But it's a weird time control. We're playing like 5+3. He challenged me to 4+4. Alright. You just like square numbers. Alright. 4+4. Beautiful idea from Pichu there. Yeah, I obviously was just playing on intuition. I had to go get the panda, and I crashed into the Death Star, and all kinds of stuff was going down with 30 seconds left. Okay, what do we got here? An English opening. We've got 30 minutes left in the stream. Queen C7, yeah, I hate retreating. Don't we all hate retreating? Strange opening. It could actually transpose to like a mainline King's Indian after E5, D5, knight E7, E4, G6. One of those things. I think theory might be like E5, E3, actually. Now it's, you know, now it's kind of like a Bologan two knights tango thing. He's already played D6, so he doesn't have the proper two knights tango where he can go bishop B4. But obviously E6 is a weird move. I mean, Black should play E5 here. Or alternatively, you know, like G6. This is just like being passive, you know, with E6. There's this really strange FIDE master from Hungary named Frank Ferenc, and he does all kinds of weird stuff like bishop D7, queen E7, H6, and he'll just like not move his central pawns forward. I won this really weird game against him. He just tries to play strange stuff, and sometimes it works, but against strong players, it's unlikely to work. Pichu says, "Could we play a rematch if there's time left?" You feel disappointed? Yeah, I mean, if there's nobody else in the stream challenging, I mean, I would definitely play again. One H4 novelty in King's Indian, something stockfish novelty. You'll have to show me that sometime, Acerbate. I'm not sure exactly what point you mean. Bishop G2. So we're just playing a tempo up. If he ever plays E5, we're kind of like a move ahead in a normal King's Indian. Well, whatever it is now, Old Indian. So I think that there, you know, Black should play G6 anyway and do Bishop G7 anyway, because the long diagonal is just a better place for the bishop than E7. So we've got a challenge here from... Actually, we've got lag, but I'm going to take the sledgehammer to the modem tomorrow. Promise. I'm required by law to like send it back to the cable company. I'm so sick of it. All right, guys. Yeah, let me know about that idea if you don't want to keep it in your secret arsenal, acerbate. I'd like to see our h4 idea against the King's Indian. But here we're just a tempo up and a fianchetto. Old Indian of some sort. It's good for white, but okay. Yeah, this is a strange move. I mean, he's interfering with his queen. All right, I'm going d5. Again, when black is discoordinated, we probably don't mind opening the game. This is a bad arrangement, with his queen in front of his bishop. And then there's a big question now, because if I take, I trade pieces. It's somewhat like, I would say that it kind of helps him, So I'm going to avoid the exchange of pieces here with knight d4. And leaving his knight strong on e5 is a conscious decision on my part. I have 5 pawns on the king's side, and he has only 4, essentially. This is, okay, let's say the king's side. I have a majority of pawns on the king's side. He has a majority of pawns on the queen's side. But, I mean, I can push my pawns up and basically drive all of his pieces back. This expansion with e5 is a crushing threat, and it's difficult for him to do anything. So this is the same point. I'm just playing h3. We're just going to drive him back. And on h6, I mean, he would allow bishop takes h6, shredding his pawn structure probably. This is very, very bad for black. Very, very bad. And it all started with fundamental stuff. You can understand what black did wrong. He lost the move in the opening. Then he put his queen on d7. And that's the second mistake. First losing a move, then playing queen d7, and then after that, well, I mean, knight g4 looks like a weird move too, because it can just be driven away. And that's what we're doing. h3, and he counterattacks with c5, okay. Reasonable move, but I can take en passant. And this en passant, my French, sorry guys. If you're French, I apologize for my horrible attempt to say, my attempt at saying en passant is really bad, but all right. Jadou. We're just winning a piece. It's over. Winning a rock with bishop takes c6. A rock is a giant. What is that? Like some sort of mythological bird. Rook on c6. Too much material. Okay, next game. Guru. No, I called him Guru. It's Goo. Just Goo. Bonjour. I don't even... I was never taught to even say bonjour. I do it all on my own. Can you imagine? I learned that on my own. Yep. Sometimes I regret not choosing French as my language, my foreign language, in high school. Okay, King's Indian. And then I made a mistake, because then I didn't continue to study Spanish, which I should have. Instead, I tried to learn Russian. And I do this with openings, too. You should just learn one thing well, before you try to learn like 20 different things. Learn the first thing well, and then eventually when you learn one thing well, then you can move on to another thing. But I think that would work better. It's like my approach to the C3 Sicilian is basically try 10 different systems and learn them all just a little bit. Not been successful for me. So this guy is a new opponent, also from Hungary. Okay, cool. So I'm a resident of Hungary, but I am in the United States for the summer. Yeah, this is all kind of main line. I don't really play this. Actually, not really a main line. I think my knight is not so good on f6 here, blocking my f pawn in this closed Sicilian. type position. Mr. Dvoretsky, we worked on this for white. And actually, Dvoretsky had a really, really long analysis of these lines that he shared with me. But from white's perspective, I've never played it often enough to really take advantage of it. But there was a discussion that we had, I remember, about the knight on f6 versus the knight on e7 versus the knight on h6. For example, it can be completely different depending on where that knight is located. Now here Gu goes a little offbeat with b3, but it's a good move. More typically I think you'd see like d3, rook b1, b4, b5, but b3 is like a solid approach. Very solid. I'm sick of the closed Sicilian. I am, man. I hate the closed Sicilian. Arsenal fans suggesting bishop f5. I mean, he could play e4 and transition to a, he could play e4 and transition to a kind of Botvinnik system. So bishop f5 isn't all that it's cracked up to be. I was thinking of playing something a little more modestly with bishop d7. He's got a low rating, I would say, compared to the average opponent that I play, but his opening is good. His opening is very, very solid. It's an extremely solid system. I play the English a lot myself. This kind of double fianchetto, super safe. Now I was thinking a6, b5, but there's another plan. We might want to think about, obviously, playing like queen c8, bishop h3. But it almost feels like a cheap plan, and it misplaces my queen on c8. The idea of knight of bishop f5 with knight b4. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't like e4. But it's playable, Arsenal. I think it's absolutely playable. You can do that. You have to be comfortable with whatever you're playing. I just want to attack his center. It's kind of like well, Spassky would do what I'm doing. Boris Spassky played this kind of setup with colors reversed. Modest sort of setup. We're just doing like rook b1, a3, b4 in the closed Sicilian. A lot of draws. Ponda style, no. Ponda likes, he likes h5, h4. But if I was going to do that, I would need my king on e8, my rook on h8, and just go crazy. This is not Ponda style. Now the d4 is concerning. I think we should take here. I normally don't like giving up the center, but we do have those Arsenal fan ideas. And I think opening the game I like in general. We get a little counterplay here with b5, b5, d5, maybe knight e5. And my knight's kind of funky here, though. If he gets d5, that could be a problem. This is not that simple. I'm not sure I want to play and commit to b5. White is playing basically perfectly. Pretty much the way I would play on the white side of a solid English like this. Bishop f5 I'm not overly thrilled with. Maybe I missed something. I mean, bishop f5, I could have gone rook c1, bishop h6, and I hadn't seen that. Now we better be fast. I think I'm going to get crushed by this guy. Maybe not. Is he fast enough? Knight d4, b5, f4. You see, he can't have everything. So h3, I go bishop f5. Now it's just weird. No, he went there. I think also rook a1 is possible. We have counterplay now. I guess that's obvious to everyone. This is going to mess him up. But I was on the verge of having problems. If he had one more move with knight d4, I would be like positionally in a lot of trouble. I managed to just pull this off. Now I don't know what to suggest. He could have considered rook a1. I wonder if there's crazy exchange sacrifices like f4, leaving the rook hanging. Grandmaster Larry Christensen, a friend of mine, mostly. He's a grumpy guy, but he's a friend. He always said, if you think you see a good move, look for a better move. This is good advice. So I was taking my time to try to find a better move there. I just don't think there really is one. Knight e4, quite interesting. What's happening though? Like knight e4, bishop takes e4, bishop takes e4. I got the bishop pair. f3, bishop f5. Anyway, I'm going to lose on time, so we'll take the bishop pair if we can get it. Our pieces are very active. I don't know if there was anything better. This looks decent. Rook takes e4. Sorry, there's no h5 here, Panda. Panda just never... I'm too sound. He should be really living with another IM. I'm just too sound for him. White's going to be forced to make a lot of weakening moves. I mean, g4 doesn't look good. So f3 is pretty much the only really good-looking move. That's weakening too, but you can't have everything. Okay. Now... what is going on? Bishop f3? This is probably not even a good move, like bishop f3. I have queen f6. Oh, man, that's kind of interesting. But does it do anything, queen f6? It almost like doesn't do anything. Funny. Piling up with no threats. Okay, he still has to find a move. He's in an awkward spot. I mean, I can build up with like rook e7 across, double up. But queen f3 is not really a threat because he could just take my knight and my bishop if I do that, Like rook d2, queen f3, knight takes e4, and I'm better, but I'm not like winning by force. I think I have to move my bishop again, retreat back to f5 or go to f3. But he didn't. Well, this is interesting. So queen f3, knight takes e4, bishop takes b2. And I think that's good enough. Bishops are working overtime in this game. We don't talk about King Crusher with Ponda. Sometimes I catch him really late at night, you know, watching King Crusher. It's embarrassing, you know. I'll hear this voice, you know, and somebody... What's going on? What are you watching? You can defend the pawn. There it is. That is irritating. Maybe I should play b5. Alright. He's hanging in there, but it's not going to last too long. Okay, guys, we have time for at least another game. All those pawns are going to fall. How about a king and pawn endgame? There we go. Let's do it. We only need one, but I'll take two. Two is better than one. Let's just gain a little space here. He's not giving up. All right. So I guarantee at least one more game. We'll see. We'll see how much time we have left. Whoops. Slipped through the cracks. All right, JCS, I'm not going to make multiple queens. Like, I might go with two. Hugo. And Danyaru. All right, we'll try to play these last two. We'll see how we have time. But I can only guarantee one. Hugo. Alright, Hugo may not be here. We'll see. Hugo has... We'll give him 45 seconds to make the first move. Ponda challenging me. Ponda has inspired a following. Alright, I want to win quickly here. So I go with my main defense, the Sicilian. Let's try a Chom. Chom variation. Man, he's out for blood. Alright. Chom Ishtvan. So, let's try this. This is funny. Bishop g5 is an interesting pawn sack there. I don't know the theory. I'm just making this up. Hugo's kind of scaring me. He's 1300. He's whipping out the aggressive moves here. Open Sicilian. Pretty dynamic setup already. But b3 is a kind of weird move. I don't want to say it's bad, though. It might not be bad. I mean, he puts the bishop on a long diagonal. That's actually not bad. Not bad. I can't really exploit it. So we're just going to play a hedgehog. That's it. It's called a hedgehog. Hedgehog, Shundisno in Hungarian. The Utah attack. Really? So we have no real threats of bishop b4, I don't think. Maybe we could win a pawn with that move if he lets me. Alright guys, next stream is Sunday. We're going to be playing... actually, how does he meet that? Like bishop b4, knight back to e2. You know, that might not be a bad move. It might not be a bad move. Just force him to a better square. No. I'm trying to win the e4 pawn here. We're in the business to win pawns. But I have to be careful about tactics and counter tactics. So you guys are disputing that last game, the placement of bishop f3 or bishop f5. Yeah. Black is clearly better, obviously, in all cases, but it is important. That kind of difference could make the difference between a win and a draw in a tournament game. Ever since Carlsen started playing b3, bishop b2, queenside castling, you know what that is, right? That's that really weird. Carlsen does like e4, c5. You know who did that first, Infinite Flash Chess? It's actually a Gashimov. Well, Magnus plays it differently, okay? It was like Gashimov who did it first, but he did it differently. He played... Now White's going to like lose a piece here. Well, almost. Gashimov played the same idea, but Magnus's idea was he modified it somehow. Now we're going to win a piece. He had a last hope there, right? He could have played a3 instead of c3. a3 stays alive. You don't lose a piece after a3. Only hope. You can always sacrifice a piece for 2 pawns, you know, but I don't think it's sound. But that line, yeah, the Infinite Flash Chess is what? e4, c5, knight c3, knight c6? What am I talking about? Not what I'm talking about. e4, c5, knight c3, what? d6? d6, I guess, he does it. And then d4. C takes d4, queen takes d4. Yeah. Originally, like some games with Gashima, but Magnus, how does he do it differently? And nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's a weird idea. All right. Yeah, I saw Catronius do it at the Budapest Spring Festival. And I don't remember what happened. I'm not going to take another pawn. We have enough. Guys, I'll try to play one last game after this. If this doesn't last another 10 minutes. I should probably take the pawn. I'm being lazy. Developing my pieces and stuff like that. Kind of a minor factor. I had no intention of playing d5 till I'm a little better developed. d5 instead of d6. You know, it's possible. But I think when you're a piece up, you know, you just don't want to get crazy. Less craziness. The more pieces I'm up, the less crazy I am. Nezhdinov. Nezhmadinov. So, what now? Continuing to develop the forces of evil. It's a donation. But I'm protected on h7. Everything's protected. I was talking about this in the stream a couple days ago. My friend Yakub Rasin, he is like a former Russian FIDE master who lives in the United States. He was saying how strong players, they just keep your pieces protected all the time. I mean, that's the simplest solution. Just never ever have any pieces hanging, and they just protect each other, and nothing can ever happen if you do that. It's good advice, and you see it sometimes, like concretely, with master level players. In my position, there's nothing that's not protected. Even the pawn on a6 is protected. It's funny, like the only thing that's not protected on the whole board is the a3 bishop. It's interesting. I'm gonna go after that. I left something hanging. That's not good. That's a cheapo. It was a blunder, too. No, it wasn't really a blunder, I guess. Did I have a tactic there? Knight takes d3. Queen takes d3. Rook d8. Nothing. Yeah, that wins, right? Knight takes d3, queen takes d3, rook d8. Wins a piece. Because I have knight takes d3, bishop takes e7, knight takes e1. That was not good. We still have the same. Knight takes d3. It's a little more complicated now. I kind of wish I hadn't done this. It's a taking fest. Ganging up. Ganging up. Alright, guys, one last game. I'm going to take the last challenge against Ponda. It's not Ponda. Oh, it's a rated challenge. Spectre 7 tries to sneak in there with the rated challenge. That's not happening. So, I guess that's it for today, guys. No more challenges. There is a mate on g2. There's the queen hanging on c2. I'd just like to thank everybody for playing and hanging out with us today. We had great donations. Now Ponda's back. All right. We'll play Ponda. I knew, like, if I said, oh, that's the last game, guys, there'd be one more challenge. Last one. It's the Ponda. Let's play d4. Hey. 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 How can you make an account named Ponda? Who are you? Huh? I think I know who you are. I'm going to find you and I'm going to get you. Alright? He's going to get him, he said. Alright, we're going to get him. You're going to get him. I'm not going to get him. He's watching my stream, man. It's cool. Ponda has a theory. You know, he has theories about who Ponda is. That's a crazy line. This d5, that's kind of funky. I like that. Last challenge, guys. Thanks for the bit donations today. Juicebox Wizard donating tons of bits today. Clash Kid, Saul. I can't even keep track, you guys. Thanks so much for supporting the stream. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. I do upload all the videos over there. Video chess training on YouTube. Video chess training is the YouTube. Ponda's like, he's mad about this fake Ponda. This Ponda wannabe out there somewhere. Gambito de Dama. What's up with bishop takes f6, queen takes f6, knight takes d5, queen back to d8? That looks... kind of serious. Not interested in your gambits, Ponda. Now we can take on c5. Overloading said piece. I had an almost identical game against somebody, but I feel like that game, I mean, man, I feel like I had an extra tempo in that one. Wow. It was like the exact same line. Bishop takes d5, bishop b6. What happens on like queen e4 check though? It's not queen b6 though. He has queen bishop b4. Sorry, take queen takes bishop b4. All right, man. Whatever, Ponda. Oh no, again. Was this the exact same game? Somebody do the research and tell me who this was. Knight takes d5 doesn't work. I don't want your stinking pawn. I want more. I don't want to lose the initiative. Who is Ponda? Who is this Ponda character? Playing for the initiative so hard. Willing to give me a Ponda. Let's see. Take that. It's still not convincing. You know, I'm just not convinced. Alright. I'm crazy with not taking this pawn. Move 11 with 300 donation. Cheer any amount to get football emotes, guys. What's that? Always there's a lot of compensation. Black must be calculating d4. I was planning on playing rook fd1 in response to d4. But maybe I'm delaying this, you know, or maybe I went too far declining the pawn, the ponda. But I hate losing the initiative. It's like bishop takes f6, queen takes f6, queen takes d5, bishop e6. He's got some counterplay, you know, and I lose the initiative. I mean, I think it's safe to assume that like Anatoly Karpov would have taken this pawn. You know, bishop takes f6, queen takes f6. Knight takes d5, queen takes b2 is nothing probably for white, but queen takes d5, and he's got two bishops. He's down a pawn, but in practical game, some chances there. How long do lichess usually take to reply about titles? Well, I mean, you know, I guess it depends on who you ask. With me, pretty quickly. You have to have friends in high places. No, I don't know. It depends, I guess, you know. I had a game earlier in the beginning of the stream where the same thing happened, right? There was a pawn on d5, and I felt like I shouldn't have taken it, and I did. But this is different. This is different now. Okay, no, seriously. Knight e5, let's just develop another piece. Bang. Development. We're just down with development. Bishop d7, so is he. Now coming with the queen h4. Very intuitive. Ponda is some sort of gambiteer. Belankaya said, okay, I'm a WGM. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I think, you know, it probably depends on like which person you ask. No, I don't think it should take too long. Shouldn't take too long. They, you know, if they don't respond within the day, I mean, I think you should send them another message. Okay, queen h4. WGM though, very respectable. Almost. Yeah, I mean, you have to almost be 2400 to be a WGM. It's a really solid title. Absolute respect. Queen h4. Not enough WGM players on lichess. Queen h4. Let's go. So I don't know, guys. Let's see after the game, like, how realistic this was. Not taking the pawn again. You know, it's just, I hate losing the initiative. It's also difficult to play in blitz. You don't give yourself any chance of like taking them out tactically. I was looking at knight g6 here. Bishop takes f6, knight takes h4, bishop takes d8, all that. Now we're just, man, we're just good now. Everything is just, look, the whole position is down on d5. Now we can win the pawn in our sweet time, and black has no counterplay. It's really a shame about the e2 bishop. What is that about the e2 bishop? Yeah, it's a shame. He's hating life. h4. Alright. Now, winning pawns is not my priority here. Bishop e4. Triple exclam. Emery Tate. Threatening mate. That's just massaging the black position, creating weaknesses. I'm being kind of crazy now. I'm just having fun. Just being weird. Everything bearing down on Ponda, but I don't want your Ponda. I just want to win. You know, the most direct, most fun way. I don't want your Ponda. Sack your queen, Ponda. Actually, he should. He should sack the queen here, probably. Now weaken yourself with h6. Then I'll take the pawn. I just wanted to provoke a little more weakening. We just want to stretch him a little bit more. It's a massage. If I don't, you know, if I don't continue with chess, we'll get into like jiu-jitsu or a career in massage. It's a good thing Bob's not here anymore. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching and subscribing. We're gonna be back on Sunday with more. A simul on Sunday, guys. It's gonna be 40-40 for 25 players. 4:30 p.m. That'll be our standard EDT, standard time for streams, 5 days a week coming up. So, what's up here? How does Bishop H4 rank according to Stockfish? It just doesn't. It thinks it's too fancy. I should just take the pawn right away. That's more violent. You know, I was having fun. Having too much fun playing with the food here. Playing with our bamboo. Anyway. Hey. Sorry. You know, you should really think twice about taking somebody's name and playing with them, because you don't play like me. You know, I just throw the H pawn. You're just a gambiteer. You know, it's not the same. I'm glad he beat you. Anyway, guys, we will see you on Sunday. It's going to be simul for 25 players, 40-40 time control. International Master William Paschall and the Ponda. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the donations, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Good luck with Lev Albert, move 11. If you beat Lev Albert, you'll be a legend. I never even got to play Lev Albert, so take advantage of the opportunity. Good luck with that. So maybe you're going to miss my simul for Lev Albert. I'm hurt. Very hurt. Anyway, guys, have fun. Thanks, Soltigo, for moderating. Yeah, well, week, you know, I consider the week to be like 7 days, Soltigo, but I may be in the minority. Weeks and weekends, it's all the same to me. You know, it all just merges into the same week. But we'll probably do like 4 weekday streams and a weekend stream every week for the rest of the summer, guys. Thanks for joining me. Tomorrow's off. Sunday stream, simul, 4:30 p.m. EDT. Check out the YouTube channel, Video Chess Training. Please support the stream. Thanks for our donations. Thanks, Soltigo, Juicebox Wizard, Clash Kids, Saul, Merle Dixon, Asterbait. Thanks so much, Move 11, everybody, Soltigo, for your donations. All right, guys. So I'll see you Sunday. Good luck. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.